In this episode, we'll be diving deep into Catoff gaming. We'll see how Catoff is faring, how it is building on Solana, and how Tony is building Catoff from the ground up here in the city, Bangalore. Welcome to Newzchain exclusive, Tony. In this series, actually, we are speaking to a lot of founders, especially from Bangalore. Of course, like we are talking to folks from outside Bangalore as well. But right now we are just exploring this beautiful city where startups are just coming out every single day, right?
Yeah,
so today we'll try to kind of pick your brains. And you came to India, you're building a startup here. We'll try to kind of understand your perspective of building from India. So could you just tell us about your journey, where you grew up, how you landed here in India, how Catoff came into the picture and everything?
Yeah, for sure. I'm originally from Northern California, and I grew up there, just outside the valley. And where I'm from, either you're a farmer or you're working in tech. So either you're like pumping hazy IPAs into your bloodstream, or you're, butt chugging like hard kombucha. Grew up there, and then I went to school in South Carolina. That was like an experience when I got there. It's like deep south of the US, and they'd be like, "What are you doing here? Why you come here all the way from California?" And I just mess with them and be like, "I'm on a mission from God." And they'd be like, "Oh, honey bless, we love that." It's like Bible Belt, like fireplace, but like prototypical like university experience. And from there, was working in the Middle East in mobile, and then moved to New York. Was also working in mobile and cybersecurity in New York. Always kind of in the realm of product and GTM. And then COVID hit, and I was kind of decided like, all right, like the nomad life is for me. I want to rip it. Like, what's up? Then I was in Mexico for 2 years in Mexico City, which was such a peak. Like, thoroughly enjoy it. And I think there's some interesting commonalities between Mexico and India.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a lot. The spice, the masala, the Tabasco. It's one of the same. Y'all like it hot. I think, from there, was kind of sick of like working for other people. Like, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and try my own thing. And was kind of doing some soul searching, like all around Asia, seeing like where would be most optimal to set up shop. And then, I came to India, absolutely fell in love with it, and realized like India is the place to be. It's the land of opportunity, the intellectual capital that persists in India is truly second to none. And I just like came here and wanted to cook with extra masala.
You landed here. Tell me about the day one. You landed here. How was it? I mean, what's going on in your head at that particular moment?
Yeah, I mean,
like, did you have a plan? Like, I'm going to this particular city, going to this particular area, going to stay there.
Sure. So my first time ever in India, I went to 25 cities in 30 days. So I just became obsessed with the night bus because it's so chatter, so tight. And I was like, oh, this is such a fun way to travel. And also the trains in India, the trains are popping, it's so wild. And I just wanted to see as much as I could, because the first time I came into India, I had a 1-month visa. And I was like, oh no, like once I got here, I was like, oh, my eyes were just like, this is crazy. I'd never been anywhere as alive, as exciting, with as much like cultural depth and unique as India, And, whether it's like religion, the architecture, the history, the food, the people, like India has so much to it. And it's just like, it's the onion where it's like you start to unpack, peel it, and it's like, whoa, you're getting like a vortex, and you're like in a chai den in a like dungeon and just ripping chai sutta, and you're like, hey, what up?
What was that moment, the tech happened? You explored, you saw everything. What was that particular moment when you decided, okay, now let's just set up the shop?
I mean, I don't know if it was like a particular moment. I think it was like, a microcosm of like, I was in the mindset where I'm like, I want to find a place to come cook and like come ship and build and be around like-minded people and be around a flourishing like community, particularly like in Web3. Here we have with like Solana and Zo and like so many amazing partners and inertia in this like Bangalore Web3 ecosystem. So I don't know if there was like one moment for me, but I think like oddly enough, like a couple of times, like when I was first in India and I like got scammed.
Okay.
And that for me,
we'll come to that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. But like that for me, like had these like this everlasting moments where I was like, I want to like fix this. I want to come here and cook. And I know that there's so many really dope people here that are absolutely brilliant and would be down to like cook with you, with me. So like, I think like some of those like tough times brought out a lot of like positivity in me at the time, because I was like, oh, like why don't we solve this? Like why don't we fix this? Like India is so sick, but it can even be better. And like of course you see, you know, like a lot of like people on the streets struggling, like, you know, just begging, like it's rough life, and it's like we want to bring people more wealth and more opportunity. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is the spot. Let's cook.
People who have not, you know, watched your content, we'll come to that. Your Bangalore-centric videos and everything you put out on X, we'll come to that. But first, let's just talk about Catoff now. We'll come to that particular point. How Catoff came into the picture. What was the idea?
Yeah, for sure. So initially, like the name too, like I was telling you how I'm originally from Northern California, and there we have like all these unique terms. Like the whole impetus behind the NorCal SoCal beef is because we invented the word hella. Okay. And we're way more innovative than they are. Like Silicon Valley, ever heard of it? Like not a big deal. But yeah, so we have all these random terms that we use like in middle school. Like we were saying it's lit in middle school. Okay. Can you imagine? And now India's just catching on like 10 years later. It's like, damn.
A little bit. Okay, never mind.
But yeah, so Catoff is a Northern California word for somebody who's a flake, for somebody who doesn't pay their bets. And
that's news.
So we'll be like, quit being a freaking cat off, bro. Like, pay up, or show up on time, be accountable, don't be a cat off. So we wanted to build something that was essentially the like antithesis of that, you know. And it's just like such a fun name, and you know, like everything around like, you know, cats and dogs, and like in crypto is like synonymous, or like let's just see what's up.
Now that I connect the dots, I can, you know, kind of relate how Catoff as a whole platform and the name kind of connects. Tell us more about the platform. What all can we do, and the tech behind it, and everything.
For sure. Else. Yeah, totally. So I think I'll back it up too, like just telling you about like what we're kind of like trying to solve, because one thing when I first came to India was like, I'm a huge like esports, like gamer. I just love like getting after it. But you know, and this was an industry I cared deeply about, but I saw like so many flaws. Like we attended the IGDC conference, you know, like I think October last year in Hyderabad. And we started talking to gamers, streamers, gaming publishers. And we realized like there's some massive flaws in this. Like 97% of streamers make less than minimum wage, whereas the top 1% make millions, and then top 2, it's like hundreds of Ks. And we saw that was like such a massive like flaw and like so much inequity. And another thing we realized was like for gaming publishers, their revenue streams are so one-dimensional. So either you're a premium game, but you need to be super legit to do so, or you have in-app purchases, which Apple and Google are taking 30%, or you have ads, which just kill user experience, cause heavy user drop-off. So we took all that into account. We're like, we want to build a solution where it makes the game that much more exciting. It helps gamers improve their own skills. It solves a lot of the inequity within gaming, whether it's the publishers not earning, like 92% of publishers fail. So we wanted to build something around that. So really what Catoff has become is an esports prediction market, and we use AI agents to give predictive odds as to users' likelihood to achieve certain outcomes based on their historical data. So say for instance, you typically get 20 kills on Valorant, but you want to try and get 30. So the AI agent will look into your player data, rank, and generalized gaming data and determine your likelihood. So in that scenario, it might say plus 500. So if you put in 2 Solana, you'd win 20 Solana off top. You'd be
understood.
Yeah. And then we pick up the streams of streamers and enable users to essentially speculate on the outcomes that the streamers might achieve. So it makes the game that much more exciting, gives the streamers a lot more extra revenue. And it's really like this whole ecosystem around gaming. And then, of course, you can challenge people to achieve certain stats. Like, I bet you won't hit 20 kills or come in clutch on Valo.
That's the kind of vibe.
Yeah. Hundo P.
Okay, so like you were saying, we anyway went off the script. So, you know, I have now like 2 questions, part 1, part 2. So I you know, they say you don't need to put blockchain everywhere. So my first part is why you want to implement blockchain. Second part is why Solana.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think why blockchain is like why also did I like want to get into Web3 in general. It's about I tell people when you go to a AI meetup, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this robot stick a finger up this,
right.
and like you go to Web3 meetup and it's like people genuinely care about and have principles.
Correct.
They care about while we're all degens at the same time,
right,
but they care about decentralization, privatization of user data, and having things on chain and where they're fully transparent. It's always on.
Right.
So I think a lot of things like this really like entice me to build in Web3, and the prevalence of prediction markets in Web3 also was like a massive boost. And yeah, we just feel like building it in Web3 gives us the most ability to work with both Web3, Web2 games to bring Web2 games on chain and help them have better economics and businesses in all. So yeah, we feel like we wanted to ensure that gamers' data was private and that they were in control of their own data.
Right.
And yeah, like that's why we wanted to
right.
Yeah.
Now, why
get it
specifically
Solana?
Solana. You are a Solana fanboy. I'm kind of guessing. I have watched your videos. You found a village named Solana?
Yeah, Solana village.
Right.
It's in Rajasthan near Jhunjhunu.
Okay.
Some beautiful, phenomenal people there. Absolutely fire spot. Yeah, it's so cutty, so chill.
Right.
They just kick it like yeah.
Then what about the Solana blockchain? How it has helped kind of scale Catoff, build Catoff in the entire infra.
I mean, I think right now, like Solana is the GOAT blockchain. Like 87% of all transactions in Web3 right now are on Solana.
Okay.
You have some, emerging chains that are doing well and have decent community, but Solana's community is absolute heat. It's just fire top down. Super Team, what Super Team does for Solana creates this whole social ecosystem, and helps people get so many jobs and win bounties. We do so many hackathons and they give grants that are amazing. And so Solana just has the most user adoption. It's the most user-friendly blockchain, and from a developer experience, it's also phenomenal. The documentation is impeccable, and the ecosystem is just truly fire. Right. It's like everybody is just always trying to cook and just build really dope things. So I think the ecosystem and the Solana events are super tight. Like Forma was one of the sickest events of all time. SEZ was sick. Like there's so many like fire events. Flow was tight. Like Solana's always cooking. So can't wait to rip Solana Summit next week. Actually, it's gonna be.
I did criticize Solana once for their event, but not anymore. I do love it now.
Yeah, you got ratioed real quick, bro. No. So we're open to criticism, I think.
Of course. I mean, I have been a Solana event fanboy, but I ended up being in one of them, which I did not like, completely personal opinion. Right. But I have been to another one, then I was like, okay, my opinion has changed now. I think you're one of those folks who have actually told, when it comes to GameFi, it's more about the experience, how the game comes out. Because I've been speaking to a lot of folks from the Web3 gaming segment, and everyone is trying to just talk about the tech, the blockchain. Nobody's actually talking about that, even before the tech. The game needs to be fun. I should be able to have fun with the game, right?
You've been DMing too many boomers, bro.
That's okay, so before we go further and talk about the tech and the startup parts and everything, I want to again know your experience in this whole in India. You happened to attend my wedding.
Yeah, it was so lit.
How was that particular experience? Also, did you attend any other weddings as well here?
For sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, your wedding was so tight. I mean, yeah, like fire experience. You were just talking about how your homies got too faded and slapping each other. So yeah, it was such a peak, like absolute cheddar. I think one of my favorite moments, about like Indian weddings in general is how like culturally rich they are, and about the like super nutty traditions that like kind of correspond with that. So I thought it was just so fun. We were there in Assam with your family, and your mom goes and walks. We all walk together 30 minutes to a little lake, and at that lake she drinks the water from the lake and walks 30 minutes back to the lake, and then proceeds to do like prayers for another like 20, 30 minutes. And then she spit the water on you.
Right.
And I was like, bro, that is so nutty. That is one. At another time in Hyderabad, we were at a wedding in Telangana. We were at a wedding in northern Telangana, 4 hours north of Hyderabad in Mancherial. And we had to wait 2 hours for a goat to nod. Just so we could eat lunch. 2 hours for a goat to nod. So
your friend, I mean, Godwin, he was also super cool. How did you guys meet? I mean, I wanted to ask you back then itself, but you tell me now how you folks met and what's the story?
Yeah, Godwin's he's a character for sure. So I initially met him on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn, like, I don't fucks with it. It's a cesspool, super team earn all day.
Right.
But yeah, so when I first saw his profile on LinkedIn, he had 4 followers, and he thought I was fake because he's like, what American comes to India to build something? And I thought he was fake because his profile was so weak.
Right.
But this kid was so committed. This Malu youngster, fresh out of school, who studied botany, who was so motivated to get a job. He came and met me instantly, shot a video with us, and edited it right away. And I was like, oh, bro, we gotta hire this guy.
He studied botany. that is crazy. No offense to the botany guys, though. but that's crazy. Okay, so let's kind of try to understand again. Godwin was very passionate about seeing you building here in India. Now, if I want to build something in Web3 here in Bangalore, and I just have an idea, and I'm clueless like how to go about it, and I reach out to you, what would be your kind of advice, and how do you lay it down to me, like, bro, this is how you go about it?
Yeah, if you reached out to me, I'd be like, bro, go kick rocks. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I would be like, there's such an abundance of resources here, especially in Bangalore. I would really start with boot camps. Boot camps are a fundamental way you can get all of the Web3 native skills. Solana has a phenomenal boot camp on YouTube. So start there, then start trying for some bounties. Bounties like on Super Team Earn. So bounties are a great way to test your skills, have that mindset of like being with the team doing a project that they would go about doing in design, development, and marketing. And then the third thing I would say would be hackathons. Hackathons are just like the dopest. Like, they get you in a mindset of shipping fast, breaking things, being around like-minded people, trying to send it on a product. So I just feel like those like very practical examples will give you what you need to like start cooking, and you meet people along the way who can help steer the ship for you and help cook with you. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Right. And if we come back, come to the team part, like, okay, I have the product ready, I know a ton of things now, but I want to now form a team. How should I go about finding that right first mate for the team? What qualities would you look into that? You may want to call him a co-founder or a co-team member.
Yeah, I mean, I would go on platforms like Super Team Earn, where it's very filtered. If you go on LinkedIn, it's low-key a cesspool, and you'll be like, like you'll be on an interview with them, you'll be like, Web3. They'll be like, Web3, what Web3, You'll be like, bro, come on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's about going to these type of events where you're seeing like-minded people, just throwing out your idea. You should never, as a founder, feel like somebody's going to steal your idea. If you think somebody's going to steal your idea, then you don't believe in your idea strong enough. And everything is about execution. So the execution that it takes to actually like cultivate something is so next level. But yeah, I mean, I would attend events, talk to as many people in that specific space, niche within Web3 that you're trying to, cook in. And then, just go about networking from there and find like-minded people, and you'll get connected to the right people eventually, I feel.
You have a very strong that marketing guy aspect as well. Also, you talked about GTM. So spill the beans on that one tip that can help me get my product out to the public, so that people at least know, okay, this guy is building this. What's that one thing I should do in terms of marketing or GTM, whatever?
You got to cook out with things, bro. But yeah, I mean, I would say the one thing is like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to, pitch people your product, get your idea out there, and then just tweet it. Like, working in public is a major thing that people do on X, and it goes a long way to show like your viability, the traction that you're getting, and what you're essentially like cooking up. So I mean, I would say like work in public, tweet it and share your experience and really work with a small subset of users who, care deeply about what you're building. The problem is, something that they're directly facing. And yeah, just try and, get them to advocate for you. Either also too via like partners. We work a lot with streamers, gaming guilds, and gaming publishers. And those 3 avenues really like are kind of building the community for us. So yeah, I think it's about like, connecting with the right entities that can help move your product along, and then just not being afraid to just tweet it up, and you have to like have this mindset where it's like, if you're going to tweet something, it's like angel dust or space dust, like it's like disappear. Everybody forgets like 2 days after that. So in order to get that mind share, you got to constantly be, just throwing it out there, laying it out and being like, what's up? Like tap in.
What's your next, goal in terms of Catoff? Where do you want to take this platform? What's in your mind? How do you want to scale it?
Yeah, so we're really trying to scale via those 3 avenues I was alluding to, but particularly with the streamers. So to have them onboard their communities. So if they're streaming a match, people can make predictions on their gameplay. So that's like a really massive target focus for us right now. And we hope to like, really build the community. We have like, about 50 streamers now we're working with, but we hope to grow that to like 200, 500 and really scale that, as well as really scale the games that we work with, because we feel like we can bring both Web 2 and Web 3 games a ton of value, ton of eyeballs via the streamers as well. So yeah, we think, those avenues can be tight for us.
So before we wrap this session, I have like one last question, and it is more like a shout out to the city where you're building. I am based. I have a soft corner for Bangalore, no matter how the outside world talks about it. Even though I have an allergy problem with this city, I'm still here getting my treatment done and everything. If you want to, kind of give a shout out to this city, and you want to let people know how amazing this is, what that would be. From a point of view, like in terms of living here, in terms of building and shipping here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Bangalore is low-key, high-key, actually, the most underrated place to be an expat, to ship, to build product in. I think the ecosystem is so robust and so on point here, and I think it's just a phenomenal place to live. Like obviously everybody talks about how fire like the Bangalore weather is. It's so chilling, but yeah, I mean Bangalore is like the high-tech capital of India, SV of India, and I think it's just a phenomenal place. Like the developer scene here is literally peak. Like it doesn't get better than this. The food is phenomenal. We got baddies out here. It's just a fireplace all around. Like the nightlife is chilling. Not too crazy, so you don't get too loose. You can still like work on the weekend, but still fun. Like we have some fire breweries. The food is so dang, so on point. Like and you get a mix of all the food of all over India. Even northeast. I ate some Naga food, bro. Oh my God, I was weak. Dude, that shit was spicy. Like I thought I knew masala spice from all the Mughlai that I typically eat, but bro, like Naga food. Sorry, bro.
I think if we keep talking, it'll go on for an hour. So we'll take that conversation off camera. So right now, do you have anything else you want to let our viewers know in terms of Catoff or anything else, that any wisdom you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Catoff, like we're really trying to, cultivate community and bring esports to the forefront, especially, here in India and in Asia. So, I mean, I think, tap in with us, like test out our platform, let us know your feedback. We thrive on feedback. It helps us grow, iterate, and learn. And then, yeah, I mean, if there's anything I can do to help you, as a founder, marketer, developer in Web3, I'm always so more than game to do so. And I just want to see everybody cook and everybody thrive and everybody eat biryani, brah.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to wrap this up on a note that people can kind of, learn from what you're building and everything and the whole ecosystem. So you have anything else that you want our viewers to know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like absolutely tap in with us at Catoff, particularly if you're into esports or interested in esports, because we're really, creating like a fire community. And, if you want to improve your gameplay, if you want to, say that you can predict the outcomes of streamers matches, or you want to challenge your friends to like get 20 kills or 30% KDA and just like rip it. like that's tight, and we really want to, you know, increase our adoption and grow bigger, and yeah, just cook in the community. So I mean, if there's anything I can do to help anybody in the community who, you know, is in Web3, developer, designer, marketer, like I'm so more than game to do so. You just gotta reach out to me, slide in my DMs, and yeah, I'll sort you out.
Amazing. We are going to leave Tony's handles here somewhere, you know, up to our folk who's behind the camera is going to put it out there. So feel free to reach out, whether you're building in Web 2, Web 3, you know, he's always out
Web
there.
2, bro. No, yeah, you can still hit me up. It's
amazing. It was very nice talking to you, Tony. Thank you so much for coming here.
Anytime, bro. You're my dude.
Yep.